Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Students, in the chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry, we have discussed about percentage composition of the elements in the given compound. By using the percentage composition, we can determine empirical and molecular formula of compound. Today we are going to discuss about empirical and molecular formula. Empirical and molecular formula. First, let us know what is empirical formula and what is molecular formula. Empirical formula is the formula of a given compound which indicates simplest ratio of the elements in a given compound. So, empirical formula indicates simple ratio or very simplest ratio of elements or atoms of a compound. This indicates a simple whole number ratio of given element in one molecule of the compound. What is molecular formula? Molecular formula is that formula which indicates actual number of atoms of elements in one molecule of a compound. So, molecular formula indicates exact number or actual number of atoms in one molecule of compound. In one molecule of compound. Empirical formula indicates the simplest ratio of atoms in a given compound, whereas molecular formula indicates actual number of atoms in one molecule of the compound. How to find these? How to find empirical and molecular formula? So, steps in determining or in finding molecular formula. Steps in finding molecular formula. In the problem, the element will be given and its percentage composition will be given. That is, the percentage mass will be given. So, first what you will do is, you will find number of moles. Number of moles are calculated by dividing percentage mass of element by its molar mass. At that time we get the number of moles. For different elements we get different number of moles because their percentage mass and molar mass vary. And for every element we will get some value. That value has to be divided by minimum value of number of moles. Second step is number of moles obtained is divided by minimum number. This generally gives the simplest ratio. This gives a simplest ratio of atoms. From this simplest ratio, we can write empirical formula. So next step is write empirical formula using simple ratio. Using simple ratio. After this, next step is find the empirical formula mass. Find empirical formula mass. How to find empirical formula mass? Empirical formula mass is calculated like a calculation of molecular mass. When we calculate molecular mass, we add atomic masses of all the atoms. In the same way, add the atomic masses of all the atoms indicated by empirical formula, which will give you empirical formula mass. After finding this, what you have to do is find integer n. Integer n. I'll denote integer as n. This is found by dividing given molecular mass of the compound by empirical formula mass. So divide molecular mass by empirical formula mass. What you will get is an integer which I have denoted as n. And then last step is multiply empirical formula. Multiply empirical formula by using integer n, which will give you molecular formula of the compound. So these are the steps involved in determining molecular formula. First, find number of moles. The number of moles is divided by minimum number, which will give you simplest ratio. By using that ratio, find the empirical formula, then find empirical formula mass, then divide molecular mass by empirical formula mass. You will get an integer which is multiplied to the empirical formula to get the molecular formula. So these are the steps involved. Now let's solve one problem related to the determination of molecular formula. Problems related to empirical formula and molecular formula are very important. They are the 3-mark question problems. Let's take up one problem related to this concept. A problem given is a compound contains 4.07% of hydrogen, 24.27% carbon, 24.27% of carbon, and remaining is 71.65% of chlorine. Molecular mass of compound is 98.96 gram. Find the empirical and molecular formula, or what is the empirical and molecular formula. This is what the problem given. Let's go through the problem once. What's given is percentage mass of hydrogen, percentage mass of carbon and percentage mass of chlorine. Molecular mass of the compound is also given. We have to find empirical and molecular formula. So first, what are you going to do? First, make the columns. In the first column, you write element. In the first column, take element. In the second column, write the percentage mass of element given. Write percentage mass. And in the third column, write molar mass. Fourth column is number of moles. How to find a number of moles? Formula we have is percentage mass divided by molar mass. Percentage mass divided by molar mass. Then fourth column is number of moles. Whatever values you will get here, that should be divided by least number or minimum number. So next column is number of moles divided by minimum number. On dividing this, what we will get is simple ratio. From the simple ratio obtained, we can derive the empirical formula for the given compound. So first, let us write whatever data given in the given problem. First, let's see which are the elements mentioned: hydrogen, carbon and chlorine. Symbol of hydrogen is H, symbol of carbon is C, chlorine is Cl. Chlorine is Cl. These are the elements given. Now, for hydrogen, percentage mass given is 4.07. So let's write its percentage mass in the second column, that is 4.07. Percentage mass of carbon is 24.27. Then percentage mass of chlorine given is 71.65. Next column is molar mass. Here molar mass means atomic mass of elements expressed in grams. Atomic mass of hydrogen, we know that it is 1.008. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. Atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. So we have written percentage mass and atomic masses. Next we have to find number of moles, that is percentage mass divided by molar mass. For hydrogen, it is 4.07 divided by 1.008. So let's find the answer for this. It is nearly 4. 4.07 divided by 1.008. Answer you will get it as 4.03. These are the number of moles of hydrogen. Next find number of moles of carbon, that is 24.27 divided by 12. 24 divided by 12 we know it is 2. Exactly if I say it is equal to 2.02. Next divide 71.65 by 35.5. This is also approximately equal to 2. Exactly it is, if we calculate, we have to divide 71.65 by 35.5. Answer what we get is 2.018 means 2.02. So these are the number of moles obtained for hydrogen, carbon and chlorine. Next what you do is, number of moles obtained is divided by minimum number. Here which is the minimum number? Minimum number is 2.02. So I will divide 4.03 by 2.02. It is equal to 2 approximately. Next 2.02 divided by 2.02, it is equal to 1. For chlorine, it is 2.02 divided by 2.02, that is also equal to 1. All the number of moles are divided by minimum number which is present in column 4. So number of moles is divided by minimum number in column 4, hence 4.03, 2.02, 2.02. All the number of moles are divided by minimum number, that is 2.02. At that time, simple ratio we get for hydrogen 2, carbon 1, chlorine 1. So this is a simple ratio. Now from the simple ratio, we can derive the empirical formula. So therefore, empirical formula is equal to, first write which are the elements present: hydrogen, carbon and chlorine. These are the elements present. Hydrogen is 2, so H2. Carbon is 1. If you want, you can write. Chlorine is also 1. This is the empirical formula. Same I can write this way: CH2Cl. If you do not write any number, it is understood that number of atoms of that particular element is 1. So empirical formula is CH2Cl. Now we know the empirical formula. We can find empirical formula mass. So let's find empirical formula mass. How to find empirical formula mass? Refer the empirical formula. In this, number of atoms of carbon is 1. So 1 into atomic mass of carbon, that is 12, plus there are 2 hydrogen atoms, hence 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen, that is 1.008, plus there is 1 chlorine atom whose atomic mass is 35.5, hence multiplied by 35.5. So now find the empirical formula mass. 1 into 12 is 12, 2 into 1.008 is 2.016, 1 into 35.5 is 35.5. Add all these numbers. What you get is 49.516 grams as the answer. This is the empirical formula mass for the empirical formula what we have obtained here. The problem given is find the molecular formula also. To find the molecular formula, we have to find the integer. In the problem, the molecular mass is given. Molecular mass given is 98.96 gram. Now we know the molecular mass as well as empirical formula mass. Find the integer n. N is equal to molecular mass divided by empirical formula mass. I'll denote it as EFM, empirical formula mass. That is equal to 98.96 divided by 49.516. If you divide these numbers, the answer what you get is approximately 2. 98.96 divided by 49.516, approximately it is equal to 2. So integer is 2. Now multiply empirical formula CH2Cl by 2. So molecular formula is equal to 2 into CH2Cl, that is equal to C2H4Cl2. Multiply number of atoms by integer 2. So finally formula what you get is C2H4Cl2. The molecular formula what we get is C2H4Cl2. This is how you have to calculate molecular formula when the percentage masses of elements given. This type of problems are 3-mark questions, very important. So these problems are important. Write the columns in this order itself. At that time calculation will be easy. Write element, percentage mass, molar mass, then find number of moles. Whatever number of moles you obtain, divide it by the minimum number or least number obtained in column 4 and find the simple ratio, from which you can derive the empirical formula, find empirical formula mass and find integer, multiply empirical formula by integer, you will get the molecular formula. So this is all about empirical and molecular formula. Now students, let's move on to the next concept, that is limiting reagent. Next concept is limiting reagent. Definition is 1-mark question, important. Limiting reagent. Now any reaction is generally written in the form of balanced chemical equation. In a balanced chemical equation is that one where number of atoms of all elements on left side and right side of the arrow mark are equal. There is number of atoms in the reactant side and on the product side are equal. Such equation we call as balanced chemical equation. But whenever reaction takes place, all the elements or all the reactants indicated by balanced chemical equation may not react completely. Some of the reactants may react completely and may get consumed early. Once the reactant gets consumed early, the reaction doesn't continue further. Reaction stops. As a result, amount of product formed will not be as expected as according to a balanced chemical equation. Students, please understand. Whatever number of moles of reactants indicated by balanced chemical equation, all of them may not react. Some of the reactants may get consumed early. As a result, amount of the product produced in that reaction depends upon the reactant which gets consumed early. Such reactants are called limiting reagent. So what is limiting reagent? It is one of the reactants which is consumed first, and hence limits the amount of product. Such reagent or such reactant is called limiting reagent. It's one of the reactants which is consumed first. It is consumed first because it is present in less quantity. So we can say one of the reactants which is present in less quantity hence consumed first, hence limits the amount of product. Such a reagent or reactant is called as limiting reagent. Other reactants present in more quantity or a more amount, such reagents or such reactants are called excess reagents. Excess reagents do not decide the amount of the product, only limiting reagent decides the amount of the product. Why? Because once the reactant which is present in small quantity gets over, further reaction cannot take place, reaction cannot continue, therefore the product formation stops, amount of the product gets limited, hence the reagent or reactant which is present in small quantity is called as limiting reagent. Now here definition of limiting reagent is very, very important. It is a 1 mark question. Now let's solve one problem so that you understand what is meant by limiting reagent and how it limits the amount of the product. Let's take up a problem. This problem is related to limiting reagent. According to the problem, 50 kilograms of nitrogen gas is mixed with 10 kilograms of hydrogen gas to produce ammonia gas. Ammonia is NH3 gas. Calculate the ammonia gas produced. Calculate the ammonia gas produced in the reaction and identify the limiting reagent. Identify the limiting reagent. Read the problem once. 50 kilogram of nitrogen gas is mixed with 10 kilograms of hydrogen gas to produce ammonia gas. Calculate the ammonia gas produced. Identify the limiting reagent. This is what the problem is. To solve such problems, first you have to write balanced chemical equation for the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen gas. First, let us write balanced chemical equation. First write a balanced chemical equation. Balanced chemical equation is, according to the equation, nitrogen gas reacts with hydrogen gas, produces ammonia gas. This is the information given in the problem. N2 plus H2 gas gives NH3 gas. Now let's see whether atoms are balanced. You find 2 atoms of nitrogen on the left, 1 atom of nitrogen on the right. There are 2 hydrogen atoms on the left, there are 3 hydrogen on the right. First I will balance nitrogen atoms. I have 2 nitrogen on the left, so I will write 2 NH3 on the right side. Now number of nitrogen atoms are balanced. What you have to balance is hydrogen atoms. 2 into 3 is 6. But on the left side you have 2. To balance it, you have to multiply this by 3. Now fine. Now just see whether the equation is balanced. 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen. Totally 6 hydrogen on the left, 6 hydrogen on the right. So this is our balanced chemical equation. Now according to the balanced chemical equation, what we can say is 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen to produce 2 moles of ammonia. Go through the balanced chemical equation. 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen to produce 2 moles of ammonia. This is the information according to the balanced chemical equation. But what is given in the problem? Mass of nitrogen and mass of hydrogen. So first we have to convert nitrogen and hydrogen masses into number of moles. How will you convert masses into number of moles? Mass divided by molar mass always will give number of moles. So first let us find number of moles. Formula to find the number of moles is mass divided by molar mass. Students, you already know what is molar mass. It is atomic mass or molecular mass expressed in grams. We have N2, which is a molecule. We have H2, which is also a molecule. So here molar mass means molecular mass of them given in grams. So let's find number of moles. Let's find number of moles of nitrogen. Students, number of moles is denoted by small letter n. Number of moles of nitrogen, I'll denote it this way, n of N2. Mass of nitrogen, how much is given? 50 kilogram. So I will write 50 kilogram in the numerator. Molar mass, nitrogen, atomic mass is a 14. There are 2 nitrogen, so it is 2 into 14 means it is 28 grams. Numerator I have in kilograms, denominator is in grams. So let me convert 50 kilogram into grams. In order to convert it into grams, I should multiply by 1000. At that time, 50 kilogram will turn into 50 into 1000 grams. So find how much it is. It is 50 into 1000 divided by 28. That is equal to, hope you are getting it, students. 50 divided by 28 that is 1.785 into 1000. 1000 is nothing but 10 to the power 3. So these many moles are obtained for the nitrogen. Now let's find number of moles of hydrogen also. Hydrogen mass given is 10 kilogram. So it is 10 into 1000 grams divided by mass of molar mass of hydrogen is 2.016 gram. That is 2 into 1.008, that is 2.016 gram. So 10 divided by 2.016 you have to do. Answer you will get is 4.96 into 1000. 1000 is nothing but 10 to the power 3 moles. So this is the information we have got from the problem given. We obtain number of moles of hydrogen, we obtain number of moles of nitrogen also. Now we know number of moles of nitrogen, 1 mole will give 2 moles of ammonia. According to the equation, 1 mole nitrogen will give 2 moles of ammonia. But in the problem given is not 1 mole, it is 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles. That will give how many moles of ammonia? This is what you have to find. Students, understand, 1 mole nitrogen gives 2 mole ammonia according to the balanced equation. But as per the problem, we have 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles of nitrogen. That will give how many moles of ammonia? This is what we have to find. So, number of moles of ammonia obtained is equal to 2 into 1.785 into 10 to the power 3. Hope you are getting it. That is 2 into 1.785, that is 3.57 into 10 to the power 3. Very similarly, you can also find the number of moles of ammonia obtained by using number of moles of hydrogen. Hydrogen, according to the equation, 3 moles will produce 2 moles ammonia. But in the problem we have 4.96 into 10 to the power 3 moles of hydrogen. That will give how many moles of ammonia? So find it. That is 4.96 into 2 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 3. That is number of moles of ammonia is equal to 2 into 4.96 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 3. That will give you 3.30 moles. So, if so many moles of nitrogen are there, we will get so many moles of ammonia. So many moles of hydrogen will give this many moles of ammonia. Now, let's find which is limiting reagent, which is excess reagent. Let's relate nitrogen and hydrogen now. Let's relate nitrogen and hydrogen. According to the balanced chemical equation, 1 mole nitrogen will react with 3 moles of hydrogen. If 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles nitrogen is there, it will react with how many moles of hydrogen? So, number of moles of hydrogen required is equal to 3 into 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 1. That is 3 into 1.785. That is equal to 5.355 into 10 to the power 3 mole. Understand, students? We have 1 mole nitrogen which reacts with 3 moles hydrogen according to the balanced equation. But in the problem, 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles of nitrogen is given and 4.96 into 10 to the power 3 moles of hydrogen is given. Now let's find whether all nitrogen and all hydrogen react. To find this, what will I do is, I will take the calculation this way. 1 mole nitrogen will react with 3 mole hydrogen. So 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles of nitrogen needs how much amount of hydrogen? That needs 5.355 into 10 to the power 3 mole hydrogen. So much is hydrogen needed to react with 1.785 into 10 to the power 3 moles nitrogen. But how much hydrogen we have? We have only 4.96 into 10 to the power 3 moles hydrogen. Means hydrogen is less than required. So much hydrogen is required, but we have only 4.96 into 10 to the power 3 moles. That means hydrogen is present in less amount than required. Hence, hydrogen is limiting reagent. Therefore, hydrogen is a limiting reagent. This is what we calculated. Students, we know limiting reagent limits the amount of the product. So, amount of ammonia depends upon hydrogen. not on a nitrogen. So many moles of nitrogen will produce these many moles of ammonia, but so much ammonia will not get produced. Why? Because hydrogen is in less quantity than required, hence hydrogen will decide amount of the ammonia produced. So 4.96 in 10 to the power 3 moles hydrogen will produce only 3.3 moles ammonia. Therefore, ammonia produced is equal to 3.3 moles. But we don't want it in moles because here masses of nitrogen and hydrogen are given. Hence we have to find mass of ammonia. So let's convert number of moles into mass. So therefore, mass of ammonia produced is equal to 3.3 into 17. Why? I'll tell you. Number of moles into molar mass gives you mass. Number of moles is 3.3. Mass of ammonia is 17. That is hydrogen atomic mass is 14. Nitrogen atomic mass is 14. Hydrogen 3 into 1. Totally 17. So 3.3 into 17 you have to do. You will get it as 56.1. This is in grams. If you want to write in kilogram, 56.1 into 10 to the power 3 kilograms. This is how we have to do the calculation. Students, I'll tell you how we have to proceed with the calculation. First, what reaction given, that you have to properly see in the problem. Then, by using the data given in the problem, write the balanced chemical equation. From the balanced chemical equation, identify number of moles of reactants and products. Then find number of moles of reactants given. What is the formula to find? Mass divided by molar mass. So we have found number of moles of nitrogen and number of moles of hydrogen. Here mass is multiplied by 1000 just to convert kilograms into grams. So we got these many moles of nitrogen and these many moles of hydrogen. According to the balanced chemical equation, 1 mole nitrogen will give 2 mole ammonia. 3 mole hydrogen will give 2 mole ammonia. By using this information, let's find how many moles of ammonia produced from nitrogen and hydrogen. See, 1 mole nitrogen will give 2 moles ammonia. So these many moles of nitrogen will produce how many moles ammonia? That is 3.57 in 10 to the power 3 mole. Very similarly, find the number of moles of ammonia produced by given moles of hydrogen. You will get the answer as 3.3 mole. Now find which is the limiting reagent. How will you find limiting reagent? Relate the reactants and find which is limiting reagent. Based on the limiting reagent, find the amount of the product. That is how we have to solve the limiting reagent problems. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.